welcome. So my name is Federico Corradi and I'm a senior scientist here at IMEC Eindhoven in the Netherlands. What I want to showcase today is results of the NeuRAM3 project and I want to show you the actual hardware working on a real use case scenario. So the platforms that you see here is a platform that has been built with different components. We have a blue box, and in the blue box we have components that come from the ETH and UZH in Zurich. And this box contains 4 identical neuromorphic spiking devices, and they implement each device, each chip contains 1024 spiking adaptive integrate and fire neurons implemented in a mixed signal analog and digital design. The neurons themselves compute in the analog domain by integrating input spike, and whenever they reach the threshold they emit a spike. The configurations of the neuron is actually programmable, so the network topology that can be implemented is programmable through the USB cable, and we are able to run different type of network architecture with this setup. Here at IMEC, in collaboration also with IMEC in Belgium, we have been developing a TFT chip, which is a thin film transistor technology chip that you can see sitting on this board. And the idea of this device is to implement a shared bus of reprogrammable routing of spike. This means that we can actually route the spike from these neuromorphic devices into this chip and then back into the neuromorphic devices. The idea here is to research solutions to being able to extend the routing of the neuromorphic devices with the thin film transistor technology. The idea is really then to develop this TFT thin film transistor on top of the CMOS directly, and in that way we'll be able to directly route spike on the same device without going off chip. And this should enable us to scale to large number of neurons and synapses that are needed in order to solve complex tasks. Now, for the tasks that we have been targeting with this demonstrational platform is the ECG-based classifications. It means that we are looking at ECG signal, electrocardiogram signal, recorded from patients, and we are looking for abnormalities in the ECG signals, like arithmetic bit or bit that don't have the full complex of PQRS and T shape, or the normal wave complex. How do we do that? Well, this is a digital platform that has a small Linux embedded systems that we can use to stream data into our neuromorphic device. In the neuromorphic device we have implemented a recurrent network of 256 neurons that receives input spike from the Linux platform, and those input spikes are representing electrocardiogram signals, and then it performs a dimensionality expansions of these electrocardiogram signals, and then part of the spikes are actually routed through our thin film transistor technology chip back into the neuromorphic device, such that we are able to demonstrate that this thin film transistor technology can actually be used for routing the spike. And after that the spike have been routed back and forth from here, we read out the activity of the liquid implemented in this neuromorphic device back again from the USB, and then we do a final classification. This is just a linear classification layer on this Linux platform, and then we show the results. What I can show you now is all of this happening live. Now what I'm doing, I'm actually programming the neuromorphic devices. I'm actually reprogramming the connectivity pattern that is programmable on this thin film transistor technology, and I will start streaming ECG signals converted into spike through the USB into the platform. So here the oscilloscope is actually connected to two of the neurons inside the neuromorphic device. And soon what you should start seeing is that those neurons will start reverberating with the activity of the input spikes. This will take a while because it's now the programming stage. Yes, it's coming, just a second. This is really live. And so, yeah, there it is. So now what we are seeing here on the screen is at the bottom we have the input ECG signals, and they are colored depending on the fact that they are abnormal or not. Green means that there are no abnormalities. Other color different than greens, it means that there is an abnormality. At the top, what we see the output of the network, also colored, meaning that greens mean that the network has not noticed anything abnormal. However, when the network will classify something abnormal, it will change the color of the spikes that you see. So now there is abnormal ECG input, and then this abnormal ECG input has actually been noticed by the network that will output a red group of spikes. As you can see, everything is happening in an event-driven manner, meaning that we compute on spikes, and only the spikes are actually a lot only when there is a lot of changes in the input signal. So the ECG has this typical pattern that you can see here, and you see that when the pattern is changing a lot, then you see a burst of activity inside the chip. So now this has been also misclassified. You see, this is a red input that has not been noticed so far. The network does not perform 100% on this complicated task, but it performs at about 90%, and those are actually the difficult cases, the one that I'm showing you now. And in fact, this is now noticed. The network has actually corrected. The network output is in agreement with the actual label of the input. If we go and look now at the scope here, we will at the oscilloscope, what we will see, I hope that this can actually be seen in there. Oh, sorry, if I don't remove it, especially for me. Sorry for this. So what you can see here, okay, now should be fine. I won't touch it anymore. So what you can see here now, those two traces represent the membrane potential of two distinct neurons inside the liquid. And what you can see is that the neuron is actually active only when there is an ECG signal as an input, there is a burst of activity, and the neurons, the only thing that it does, it integrates input, synaptic input, and whenever it reaches a threshold,